back and just see kids.
Right.
Real kids, yeah.
And the schools are having a hard time getting people on. I know that we do Zoom with Greiner, and then there's other schools. And one of the things that we're having a hard time is getting the parents involved. So parents get involved, and then we're going to do a podcast in Spanish. That way people can jump on, and we'll help out as much as we can. Ask the questions. You ask questions, and we'll give you answers. Because it's really important to do that. We hope that you guys are, staying aware and logging on and jumping on and staying in school. Now's the time actually to make it.
I agree.
Now's the time.
I agree.
Like, I wish I was in school now, in high school.
If you were that kid that couldn't speak because there was people around, all you have to do is...
now you're on Zoom, and it's like, and then you can type in there, hello, here's my question, here's my answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be kind of...
Our introverts now, the kids that we had in group before that wouldn't, speak in person, they're now in the chat box. They're going crazy. Like,
Right.
because it feels safe to them. It feels safe.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, how's your son doing, Maria?
He's doing well. Today was his first day back.
Oh.
Yeah, so we had to get into the whole routine of things. So it's his first day back.
He's like, oh. That's what I would do.
So yes, my daughter's first day back to college was today also. So she's actually doing it from home.
Good.
So this morning I had a conversation with the two of them about, the routine of things, not waiting till the last minute to connect, because Andres can do that. Like, he'll wait till, a minute before 8. So it's like, we're not doing this. I need both of you to have a good routine of things, like schedule it out. Those beds need to be made before you log into anything.
Look at her.
Miss Maria
is
does not
it really that
play.
important to make your bed? Come on.
Have eat a breakfast before you log into your classes, and just keep a good routine of things. Like, personal hygiene is very important to me, and so I'm on top of those kids.
Even though they're not at school.
Even though they're not at school, because I still. This is my thing. I don't want them to get too comfortable.
Oh, okay.
And I do have a 21-year-old who might get too comfortable and liking the fact that, she doesn't have to get up and do
stop.
I know she's the mom.
Oh no. But yeah, so it's just things that we talked about it, because I told him to, I completely understand, because it was hard for me last Monday, like getting out of bed,
right.
And so I told him, you've got to have a schedule. You've got to know that things have to be taken care of before you log into your classes early in the morning.
That's excellent.
And my thing, and I'm also like really big about the whole, like the whole dressing up, like be dressed up. Don't let me come home and catch you guys in like your pajamas.
No, I think even the teachers tell them, like, make sure everyone's still like wearing appropriate clothing and all that stuff. Last week, I knew Valentina, my niece, had class at 2:05. And she wasn't logging in. She was just kind of like, and I let her. And I said, hey, you. I said, it's 2:35. And, oh, yeah. And I said, oh, well, your teacher just wrote me an email. Do you want to respond to her? So I also want her to, like, feel that, like, pressure, like, oh, my teacher is like kind of after me, my teacher is aware, and now they talk, my teacher talks to her, it just makes them feel a whole different way.
I think it gives them a little bit more responsibility, because I know sometimes they, like I said, getting comfortable, or like, right. my mom's not going to find out because, my teacher's not going to email her. But then when they realize that, hey, there's emails coming through and they're asking why you're not in class, when I know I left you
guys
logged in.
We are adults. We are smarter, right?
You just killed it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Kids are going to quit listening.
But you know what? It's true. They always try to, like my girls, they try to play me every time.
Really?
And it's like, whatever I'm doing, it's so hard to be an adult, first of all. And whatever I'm doing, I'm not trying to annoy you. I'm not trying to make your life miserable. I just want you to be okay. I want you to be successful. That's what we want.
Care? Does that mean you care?
I mean that, yes, I care. And the same goes for our kids in group. Like, we're not trying to be annoying when we ask you how you're doing, how you're feeling. Talk to us. We want you guys to be successful. We care. We really do.
Doesn't mean you're bossy. Doesn't mean that you're...
Just a little bit bossy. Just a little bit bossy.
Maria and I have a lot of bossiness, but it comes from love, I feel like.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
It sure does. It's all love.
It comes from love.
And sometimes too, these kids don't understand. Like you say, like when they play us, you know, sometimes these kids,
They're
kids, because I know some of you kids don't understand.
These are older women who are venting.
No, we're not.
But this is the thing. This is the thing too, though.
This is what parents do.
One of the things that you kids don't understand is that we were you guys' age at one time, so we know, you know, we know what some of the issues can be and what some of the things that make us feel comfortable, or what are some of the things that we don't really want to do, even though we know we have to. And you will not understand that right now, but one day you will. I'm sure of that.
And your kids are probably like, why is Mom on a podcast talking about the stuff that she tells us and people are listening? But no, it's good. I mean, and if you don't look, if your parents aren't as involved and you want them to be involved, listen to this, and we'll get Miss Maria to tell you. Wash your ears.
Miss Maria will tell you.
Go to bed early.
She'll tell you, your mom, and your dad, and everybody.
Yeah. But that's good. I mean, we need that. We got to get back to some type of normal. And when it's not normal, you have to make it normal. You have to get up, like you said. And we've talked about this before. You have to get up. You have to get motivated. If you're in your pajamas all day, it can get very depressing.
Yeah.
If you're not taking a shower, if you're not eating breakfast, lunch, or dinner, your mind and your body, it starts getting real anxious. There's a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, and some of that can be taken care of just by doing those basic things: eating 3 meals a day, going to bed early, getting up early, just getting up and moving around. We talked about that last time. So this is your I call this our COVID relief. This is our this program is to help you guys and really inspire to move forward, because we have never seen anything like this. We were later on, and we didn't have time today, but we're going to do a news portion. We're going to do some other projects. Miss Cindy's going to do a little activity that everybody can participate with, and we want to get the best out of you. And that's why we decided to do this type of podcast. And I like the fact that we can put it out there and a lot of people can listen and join us. But it's important to just keep engaged, stay engaged. If you feel alone, turn this podcast on and then email us.
Right.
We will be here. We will be here. We will continue to put it out there because we want to be that voice. We want to help you move forward and celebrate you. So if some of you guys are doing really good in school, send us that. Like to announce your names. If you're a parent and you're listening and your kid is just a good kid, let us know, because we focus a lot on the bad. We want to focus on the good. Right?
Right. No, I think you touch on a very important point. Just, find someone you can trust and talk, and we're here. And, one of the things that I love about our podcast is that I guarantee you'll be able to connect with one of us, because we come from such different backgrounds, but there's still so much, struggle and so much good that we want to put out there, and maybe if you talk to me and you feel like, well, I can talk to Miss Maria and say, hey, this young girl, this young man, they emailed me, how do you, we always feeding off of each other, always. And so that's something really cool, I think, about us.
I like the fact that you guys are local. I mean, Thomas Jefferson graduates, Kimmel High School graduate, and we're here and still in the same areas, working the same areas.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So, we've been through a lot, and we're here to kind of help with that process, because it's difficult. And life's going to be difficult, but it gets more difficult if you add drugs and alcohol.
Right.
One of the main things that we try to do is we try to be drug free. And again, this is your first podcast that is drug free, and drug free is cool.
Yes. I'm
excited.
excited.
Yeah, we get excited.
Yeah.
So we're going to push this and promote it and promote it. And again, if you're listening and you don't like it, well, it's not for you.
Oh, Mr. Leo just saying everything straight. Yes, it is for you. Come back. Don't go.
You can stick around. You might like it. But put the beer down. Put the junk down.
Like, come back.
Come in drug free.
Yes.
Yeah, so.
Give yourself a chance.
Yeah. So y'all ready to do a Spanish one when we do one?
Yes.
I am so ready.
Ready for Spanish.
Yeah, we'll put that out, and we're gonna work on that. See how that goes.
I need to freshen up on my Spanish.
You think so?
My cool Spanish slang words. Yes. Sometimes, if I spend too much time at the office, I go back speaking a certain way. And then if I spend too much time at home on a weekend or a whole week, I come with a really, really strong accent. So I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out one day.
Is it hard being bilingual?
I think it is hard. It's hard for me. Because sometimes I'm having to think, and I have to think in both languages sometimes. Like, sometimes I'm saying something in English, and I'm like, wait a minute, Spanish? Hold on. What word is it? Is this how you say it? And vice versa.
It's kind of like this, watch.
Oh.
You see how it threw you off?
Yes.
We were listening to something, and I threw Spanish, and it kind of like...
Oh, my whole attitude just changed.
You see?
This is Maria. It's hard because I'm telling you, sometimes we're talking and sometimes we have to do translations for work. And she'll come up to me with a whole new word that's not even a real word in Spanish. And I'm like, is that a word, amiga?
And I'm like, it is a word, right?
It is a word.
Like, think about it.
It sounds like a word to me.
Right? I think so. Yes, it is a word.
People don't understand when it comes to bilingual and two cultures, like that switching that music, it kind of throws you off. I noticed that when we did the Christmas podcast, and you can catch that on Spotify, you can catch that.
Yes, we should do that on Instagram. We should upload them on Instagram
you catch
too.
That, and we did a Christmas one, and I put a Spanish accordion, and it kind of threw it off. And I noticed that we kind of like stopped a little bit.
Well, too, I think because none of us I didn't recognize the song. I'm like, I recognized the beat because it was like a norteño beat, but then the words and the what was being sung at that moment was like, where did this come from? Like, I don't recall this song from back in the day.
That's what it is to be bilingual. It's like it switches up on.
I feel like we adapt quickly too. So quickly. Like,
well, there's a beauty to it. There's a beauty to being bilingual, dual culture.
Except when you're doing this. Ay, what's the word? Oh, I haven't. Yeah, except when you're doing that.
I think it bothers me more when I do it in Spanish because I love our Spanish language. Like, I love it. And I love to be able to translate for people. So sometimes I'm talking to, family and friends. And I'm like, ¿Cómo se dice? ¿Cómo se dice? And I hate it because it makes it look like I don't know. But then, my words.
Your brain.
Yes. I'm like, wait, I know it in English. Why don't I know it in Spanish?
Oh, no. My dad would check us. That's not how you say it.
Well, I was going to ask that. What's it like? Like, I mean, we know, but a lot of people don't realize that being that double culture, it's difficult because you do have these expectations from family. They expect you to be a certain way. They expect you to like, and you might be different. I know this because working with families, I saw that a lot, and there can be a divide in the family.
Right.
So, what was it like for you guys growing up and in a bilingual home, and when you lean too much on one language and the other?
In my home, I wasn't bilingual in my home because in my home it was all Spanish. My parents did not speak any English, so I think that's the reason why I have such a strong accent, which I learned to love because people used to make fun of it, a long time ago. But now I don't care. I'm like, yeah,
it's in now. Yeah,
sure is.
I don't care.
Look, I used to look. Here I go. Look, Nancy Jane Cochran. That's the school I used to go to. And you never heard of it. It's way out there in Arcadia Park. Wonderful little school. But when I started, there was only a few Hispanics in there in the 80s. And my grandmother would pack us breakfast burritos, what they call them now. Mm-hmm. To us, it was just a taco.
Yes.
So my grandmother, every day she would make flour tortillas. Morning, afternoon, and dinner. I'm from South Texas, from Raymondville, Texas.
How nice.
So that's how we ate And
the tortilla de harina.
Yeah. So every day. And so for breakfast,